Welcome to Ngwesi Community Conservancy, where land becomes legacy. There are places in this world that cannot be explained, only felt. Places where the heart still remembers its original rhythm. Where silence carries meaning and where nature still speaks louder than humanity. Ngwesi is one of those places, far beyond the rush of modern life, beyond the noise, beyond the ordinary. The wilderness of northern Kenya stretches endlessly toward the horizon, untamed, ancient, alive. And as the first light touches the land, everything begins again. Golden sunlight pours across the valleys. Acacia trees sway gently in the morning wind. Dust rises softly beneath the footsteps of elephants, moving through ancient pathways older than memory itself. Giraffes emerge slowly against the horizon, tall and silent, like living sculptures painted into the sky. In these moments, time itself seems to slow down because Ngwesi is not simply a destination, it is a feeling, a rare connection between land, wildlife, and humanity. A place where a world is not something distant, it is everywhere. It breathes through the open plains, it moves through the trees, it lives in every sunrise, every sound carried by the wind. And hidden gently within this extraordinary wilderness stands Ngwesi Eco Lodge, built not to change the landscape but to belong to it. No towering walls, no separation from nature, only open skies, natural beauty, and the quiet luxury of simplicity. Here, the wilderness enters every moment. You wake to golden light spilling across the hills, to songbirds echoing through the valley, to the distant moment of wildlife beyond your window. At night, the stars arrive without end, filling the African sky with a beauty impossible to forget. And when darkness settles over Ngwesi something truly magical begins. Far from city lights, beneath one of the clearest skies on earth, the famous turbid waits quietly beneath the open heavens. Here, sleep becomes an experience unlikely any other. Wrapped in the silence of the African wilderness, guest lies beneath endless constellations, watching the stars drift slowly across the night sky. The distant call of wildlife echoes softly through the darkness. A cool northern breeze moves gently through the trees, and for a moment, the world feels completely still. Under these ancient skies, time disappears. This is not simply a place to stay. This is something you carry with you forever. And every detail reflects the spirit of the land. Natural materials, traditional craftsmanship, warmth, hospitality rooted deeply in community and culture. Guests do not simply visit Ngwesi, they become part of it. Meals are shared with warmth and care. Stories are exchanged beside the evening fire, and every experience carries a sense of authenticity impossible to imitate. Because the true heart of Ngwesi is not found only in the landscape, it lives within its people. Across the Conservancy, communities continue tradition passed from one generation to the next. Elders carry history in their voices. Women hold culture, family, and future together with extraordinary strength. This is not tradition frozen in time. It is culture alive, breathing, growing, enduring. And through conservation, the people of Ngwesi too have achieved something remarkable. They have transformed coexistence into hope. Across the conservancy, the wild is returning. Elephants move freely once again through protected landscapes. Giraffes drift across the plains beneath endless African skies. Life flows naturally through ecosystems, slowly healing with time. And protecting this fragile balance are the rangers of Ngwesi, guardian of the land, protectors of the world, walking vast distance beneath the northern sun, tracking movement in the dust, preserving the delicate harmony between people and nature. Their work is not simply conservation, it is legacy. Because every elephant protected, every tree restored, every generation empowered become part of a much larger story. A story about the future of our planet. From above, the scale of Ngwesi 2 becomes breathtaking, rolling hills disappearing into the horizon, vast open plains untouched by time, a wilderness both powerful and fragile at once. But this beauty tells a deeper story. A story of restoration. Land once under pressure is beginning to heal. Grasslands grow stronger. Trees return. Wildlife thrives. And alongside nature, communities rise with it. Opportunity grows, education expands, hope takes root. Because here, conservation is not an idea, it is life itself. But the story of Ngwesi 2 does not end here. It lives in every sunrise still to come, in every child inheriting this land, every ranger protecting the world, every community choosing coexistence over conflict. Ngwesi 2 stands today as a proof that humanity and nature do not have to stand apart. Together, they can create something extraordinary, something timeless, something worth protecting. This is Ngwesi 2 Ecology, where land becomes legacy. I'm Joseph Odupoi Olegelisho. Thank you for watching and welcome you all to Ngwesi 2 Ecology.
Dr. Lepantas Leshore Museum of Heritage, and in the heart of Laikipia, where culture, wildlife, and communities exist, stands the pioneering African-led conservation and sustainable tourism, the Ngwesi Ecology and Conservancy, which behind me is the ecology that generates funds for the community's well-being programs, health, education, water, and conservation of endangered wildlife. The elephants, the lions, the leopards, the gravy zebras, and the tortoise, pancake tortoise. And today, my Museum of Heritage nominates Ngwesi Conservancy and Ecology for the 2026 Sustainability Tourism Award. All the best to Ngwesi community.